I am Prasad from Structural Guide. You are welcome to the Structural Guide YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about how to prevent corrosion. Before moving to the discussion, I would like to request you all to subscribe our YouTube channel. You may get the notification on new videos. Let's see how to prevent the corrosion. What is corrosion? Corrosion is a natural process that converts the refined material into more chemically stable oxide. It is a gradual distraction of materials by chemical or electromechanical reactions with their environment. So it's a natural process, so we can't control the corrosion if it's still exposed to the environment. If it's still exposed to the environment, when with the presence of oxygen and the moisture, the corrosion of the reinforcement or corrosion of the structure is still occur. So that's the nature. That's the nature. So we can't avoid that, but we can prevent by different means. Let's discuss those things. How to prevent corrosion? There are different methods we can prevent the corrosions. I have listed several methods that we can adapt here. Use different metal types. That is, we can use the alternative metal materials. Protective coatings, environmental measures, sacrificial coatings, corrosion inhibitors, design and detailing techniques we can adopt, and the maintenance. So one of the most important thing in protecting structures against corrosion. So let's discuss each type in detail. So alternative materials. So normally we know steel going to corrode if we expose, because in the environment moisture and the oxygen is there. We can use alternative materials wherever possible. One of such materials are One of those materials are the aluminium and stainless steel. Whenever it is possible to replace, we can use those materials. So structural steel, sometimes we can replace with the stainless steel, but aluminium we might not be used always because it's not structurally sound always. So there are aluminum sections that have this strength, but we won't be able to always replace the steel with the aluminum. So whenever possible, we may use the alternative materials. So in these situations, we have to consider the cost also, because when we replace the material, if it is significant, rather replacing the material, we may go for other options like protecting the steel from corrosions. Those can be done. Let's see how to protect steel from the protective coatings. What are the protective coatings? Mainly today we are going to discuss about painting and powder coating. I think we all know what the painting is. So we apply painting over the steel as a coating to avoid its exposed to the environment. So if this steel are not exposed to the environment, oxygen and moisture can't reach the steel, so it's protected. So depending on the nature of the structure and the importance of the structure and the exposure condition of the structure, we decide number of coatings to be applied and the type of paint to be applied in the steel. The severity always considers when selecting type of paint. So that has to be keep in mind when we selecting suitable type of paint. Now other thing we are going to discuss is powder coating. So powder coating is a kind of a corrosion protective layer applied on the materials. First we need to clean the metal surface. Then we can apply the powder coating. Then we will heat it up to now its material powder will be applied on the surface. Then it will be heated. Then the powder will build a smooth firm film over the that surface. Then it's like a paint, so it's not exposed, and we have a different appearance with these powder coatings. So let's discuss about environmental protection. How do we use environmental protection to protect the structures? As I explained previously also, if the structure is not exposed to the environment, it's not directly exposed to the oxygen and moisture always, the corrosion won't happen. So we can protect the, or we can, if we can cover the structure, for example, steel columns, it's, if it is in the environmentally protected, so like it's covered with the building or covered with cladding, in such a situations it's well protected, so it's not going to corrode. Likewise, there are method to protect the structures. So you can see here also these internal columns are not exposed like other columns. So we may go with the smaller, I mean the lighter paint, not like it's, if it is exposed to the aggressive environment, we have to spend a lot of money and apply a lot of coatings. But internal structural element, we may not spend that much of cost, and also we may apply a lighter paint. Sacrificial coatings. These are type of metal coating applied on the steel surface. They are mostly from the oxides. First thing we are going to discuss is the cathodic protection. That is, we all know that is actually the galvanizing. So galvanizing is a zinc rich material applying on the steel surface. We can put the material into the galvanizing bath and take it out, then this coating will be applied. Otherwise you can do the cold galvanizing where you don't, I mean, if you do the repair, those galvanizing coating may damage, then we may spray that particular area zinc rich paint we can apply. So galvanizing is basically a one kind of a protection, most widely used protection in the world, that provide strong protection to the structure if we maintain it properly. Cathodic protection, that also we can use. Application of active metal like tin can be done. Tin, tin is not a corrosive material. So anodic protection is done where the cathodic action is there. So mostly used for the carbon steel storage tanks. So the cathodic protection we use mostly carbon steel storage tanks. Let's see what is the corrosion inhibitors. Chemical that react with the steel surface or surrounding gases to avoid corrosion. So it's react with the metal surface and it make a firm layer around the steel metal, then it's protected. So it form a membrane and it's protect the structures. Inhibitors can be applied as a solution or coating or gas in the steel surface to form this protective coating, protective foam. So with that also we can protect the metal from the corrosion. Finally, I'm going to discuss about design and detailing. So design and detailing is very important in corrosion prevention. Adequate access for the maintenance. When you do the detailing, we should allow, or we should have 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 managed. We should have allow adequate space for the access. Now, if we can't access to the particular locations, then we cannot be do the maintenance works. Then it will be a issue. Collecting of dust. If dust is collected, then those locations moisture will be there. So the with when it's won't dry, it's always wet, the chance of getting corrosion, chance of getting paint damage, or chance of getting galvanized paint is damaged is very high. Air movement. Air movement also very important, because now if, for example, some areas now, for bridge in a bridge like elements, those actually always get wet due to the rain. So in this case, it should be sufficient room to dry. So if it is get dry, then the corrosion, the possibility of getting corrosion due to the wetting, it wet due to the wet conditioning continuously on the steel surface won't be happen. So if adequate air movement is there, it avoid the corrosion. Openings also, that sort of a thing we have to maintain. And the regular inspections we shall do to identify any defects in the steel. So if we so the initiation of the corrosion, we can repair it immediately, then the damage will be less. If the corrosion spread all over the place, the cost also will be high when we are going to do the repair. So again, therefore, we have to do the regular inspections. In addition, we have to do the regular maintenance. That's also most important thing in the steel structures. We should do the inspection regularly, and we should do the maintenance regularly. If we identify any defects, that has to be repaired regularly. If we repair it regularly, or if we maintain structure properly, then we can maintain that structure for longer durations. With that, we end the today's discussion on corrosion corrosion of corrosion prevention. So let's meet again from another video. Thank you very much.